Okay, question 16. Which equation is always true? So I've got my four answers here. One of them is always true no matter what the value of a, b, x, z is. So we want to test this, and I'm going to use the graphing calculator all the way here. So if I'm systematic, I know I can find the right answer just by submitting values. So for the last one, 7a, 7b, I'm just going to store values for a and b. So let 3 store, so control in the var key, a, and let 2.5 store b. Now I'm going to say 7 to the a times 7 to the b. And I get this ugly number. Now 7 to the a times b. And notice these numbers aren't even close. So yeah, I didn't get the right answer yet, but what I did was verify that this is not the right answer, so I can get rid of it. So next, I want to store a value for z. So let's try 6. Store the letter z. So now I'm going to say negative z squared. Make sure to have the negative in front. And notice I get negative 36. If I just do z squared, I get positive 36. So because there's no parentheses around that negative z, these are not equivalent. Therefore, my answer is not choice 3. So the next thing I want to do is store a value for x. So I do like my pi button. So I'm going to go to pi, control and the VAR key to store that as x. Now I want to put in 3 to the x times 3 squared. And I get this big, ugly number. Now I'm going to say 9 raised to the 2x. And notice I get a much bigger, ugly number. Therefore, these two things are not equivalent either. Now, if I find one counterexample, that means it's not always true. And that's why I try to use a little more obscure number. I stay away from 2 because I don't want a coincidence to happen. But notice, I already stored pi for x. So here, I'm just going to say x squared times x to the third power, or x cubed. And I get this number right here. Now I'm going to say x raised to the fifth power, and I get the same exact number. Because when you multiply, you actually add the exponents. 2 plus 3 is 5. So if you know that skill, yes, the algebra helps you zero in on the right answer. But what I wanted you to see is no matter what, we can always figure out just by using our store command that number 1 is the correct answer for question 16.